If you would have told me that when I was a kid in middle school, staying up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning playing video games, that at 27 years old, I'd still be playing video games several times a week, I definitely wouldn't have believed you. Because looking back in the 2000s and 2010s, it was pretty rare to see a grown man playing video games, and if you did, you basically laugh at them and tell them to go clock in or take care of their kids. And like the crazy thing is, back then gaming felt like something you were supposed to grow out of. Like there was some invisible cutoff where you hit a certain age and you just stop. You're done. Fast forward to 2026 and life is just so different now. I mean, to be exact, the age range from 18 to 34 makes up 38% of gamers, and the age range of 35 to 54 makes up around 30 to 40%. Which is absolutely nuts to think about it. I mean, the people that you're playing with could be about 10 years away from retirement and you never know. It's kind of crazy. But honestly, now it just feels so much more normal. Like gaming isn't just a kid thing anymore. It's constant, it's ongoing, it's evolving, and people are actually making a living off of it. So instead of growing out of it, a lot of us just kept going and it kind of just became a part of our daily lifestyle. So if you're like me around 20 to 30 years old, you're probably just stuck in this weird situation where you constantly feel like you need to be doing something productive with your time, but yet you still keep gaming. It's all we really think about anymore, just because of how much pressure we face as a society to make sure that we're making enough money to make ends meet and hopefully live a decent life and retire on time. As a kid, it was pretty easy to just sit down and game because obviously you didn't have anything else to worry about, but right now it's so much more different and it seems like it's getting more and more difficult to do so. So yeah, like whenever you just sit down and play, there's so many things to think about in your head. Like I should probably be working on something to improve myself, or I should probably, try to do like a side hustle or something to make some more money. Even if you just worked all day, it still feels like you should be doing more, and it kind of sucks. It's crazy too, because if I had that same mentality when I was a kid, looking back, I probably wasted so much time doing things in gaming that just straight up don't matter. Don't get me wrong, I still love getting achievements in games, but going through games and trying to go and platinum all of them just was like way too much time that I wasted. On top of that, I feel like a big one is camo grinding in COD. I mean, how many times do you go back to a Call of Duty that came out even a year ago and actually like appreciate the time that you put into that? So between the camo grinding, the battle pass farming, and trying to go get achievements and stuff, it all sounds fun when you do it, but if you think about it, just spending all that time putting work into games that don't necessarily really matter. I mean, even in like 5 to 10 years, hell, even like 1 year, it's really just such a waste of time that really just eats away at your life pretty much. And in the moment, it feels productive too, which is crazy. Like you're leveling up, you're unlocking stuff, you're hitting goals, but then whenever you log off, you're like, wait, what did I actually really get out of that in the end? And that's kind of what I wanted to get at with this video, is because we grow up with this stigma in mind that gaming is a waste of time, yet we do it because we as people are supposed to enjoy life and relax once in a while. And yeah, obviously you should enjoy life. Not everyone has to work all the time. But even though we see gaming as relaxation, sometimes the way that we play these games is actually just draining us even more. Instead of relaxing, you're just basically clocking into another job, grinding, sweating, getting frustrated, and chasing the next thing over and over and over again. I think every guy who remotely uses the internet has heard about the whole topic of dopamine and all the different ways that the modern world really messes with our attention span and even our brain development. And gaming is one of the biggest examples of that. It's just constant stimulation, constant rewards, constant feedback hitting your brain nonstop. Well, what makes or breaks a lot of these games in the dopamine trap in general is also what you do in your free time. The games you play really do affect the way that you think and feel the next day, the next week, months, or even years from now. And that's really how the whole idea of wasting your life away with gaming can really mess you up in the long run. Like if all of your free time is spent on the super high stimulation stuff, real life just starts to feel slow and kind of boring in comparison. Think about it like any other habit that you have. Drinking could be a good example. Like you could eat great, lock in, work out hard, be sober for most of the week, but then you spend one Saturday night, you're up till 4 or 5 o'clock a.m. binge drinking and spending your Sunday hungover. That's obviously a huge thing that's going to ruin your work week and eventually catch up to you with lifetime consequences. And yeah, you might brush it off at first, especially in our 20s and 30s, but obviously as you get older, that routine really starts to stack up and pay its price. So if you think about that from the perspective of gaming, what you put in is what you get out. If you put in junk every day, you're playing MMOs, battle royales, really anything multiplayer at this point, you're most likely going to feel like trash because the shit is just so overstimulating at this point, with little to no real reward to take away with you in the real world. In comparison to this, something I've done recently is really skip the multiplayer and going back to single player games. Don't get me wrong, every once in a while I love chilling with the boys, staying up late, playing a multiplayer game and just having fun. But I think the moderation is key here. Single player games are like a book, but at the same time, you're really taking away something from all of these that you could look back on years from now and really appreciate. Something I've done lately is try a lot of new genres. For example, I binged through the Resident Evil series, which is a great horror genre. I also tried out Expedition 33, which for someone who's never really played a turn-based game, I absolutely love this game. These are just a few of them, but if I go through my Steam backlog, I know that I have so many games that I've bought over the years that I've never actually touched because multiplayer just took up so much time in my childhood. So I'm really excited to get back into those. And the good thing to notice is that single player games actually do really feel different. Like you finish something, there's an ending, you actually remember it, and you take something away with that you could apply to your real life. And I noticed that the mental change that these games give on you really does make a difference. Like over the past year, I feel like I've really gained something. I've really put more thought into what I do every day. And at the same time, and with all this, I feel like I've been really appreciating how I spend my free time instead of just using my free time to basically just entertain myself and kind of keep myself preoccupied. It's easy to lose sight of these things, but if you look back over the history of your gaming career and just think about how much time you spent versus what you got out of it, you might be able to really put the pieces together and realize that you have a couple things you need to switch up. So yeah, you don't have to feel like you need to quit gaming or anything like that. Just be a little more aware of what you're spending your time doing, and it will go a long way. I appreciate you for taking the time to listen to me rant. Please let me know if this helped you, and I'd be happy to talk more. Peace.